All right, welcome back. So in the last video, we made sure that when you click on Edit, this actually has access to our filter. We can see that because scale intensity got wrote in there or written in there. So the next thing we'd like to do, more important, is we'd like this to actually take effect. We're expecting to see that value stick, and more importantly, when we click apply, we're expecting that the amount of intensity scaled is proportional to that slider. So let's start making that change. Um, so in the linear adjustable view controller, well, actually, the first thing is when we look at our linear adjustable view controller and view did load, we're able to get the name, but we don't have the other information. So we need for one of these linear adjustable filters to carry a little bit of extra information. We want to know, in this case, um, what the current value is here. We want to know what the minimum value is, the maximum value, and let's also have a default value so that if you create a new scale intensity, it always starts off with the default. So to do that, we'll go into our filter, and we'll say that anything that's a linear adjustable filter has this. It has let, not let, we need a variable called value, and that can be a double, and get and set. In other words, anyone using this linear adjustable filter can both get and set that value. Let's also go variable min, that's a double, and anyone using this only needs to get it. Variable max, same thing there, and variable default. And defaults are used words, keywords, so we'll say default value instead. That's double. Okay, good. Now that should effectively break our filter. That is the scale intensity filter, and it does. Okay, and it's going to complain that we don't conform to the protocol. And that's because we don't conform to the protocol. So let's add those guys in. We now have a actually we have a variable for value, and that's double. And we have a min, which is a double, a max, which is a double, and a default value. Nice, okay. Next thing I want to do is actually, when we create one of these, let's pass those values in. Now, actually, hold on a second here. Scale intensity filter, do we need to even show the guy any of that? Probably not. So we could probably just do this. Min is 0.0, max is 0.0, max is 1.0. We'll say default value is 0.5, and we no longer need to pass in that scale, but we do need to say that the value is equal to the default value. Okay, not too bad. Now we can get rid of, and we'll need to get rid of, scale. We're no longer using this variable here called scale. Instead, everything that was scale is now value. They're really the same thing. It used to be called scale, but that was a very specific term to the scale intensities filter. Okay, that looks not too bad. Let's make sure that we still compile up here, and we don't. because we no longer need any arguments. A scale intensity filter, that gives us default scale intensity filter. Nice. And if we ever need to do differently, we could pass in a value there. Okay, so now we can pop over to our linear adjustment view controller. Yeah, I guess I could just scale that right now. And what do we want to do? When view.did_load gets called, we want to set the slider. So we want to set the slider. I'm going to guess that there's a min val. There we go. Minimum value equals. Now I noticed that it's a float. So we'll have to do a little casting. I like keeping things doubles or floats, doesn't really matter, but yeah, so let's go to our filter and grab the min value from that. And this is a double. We know we got one of these. No, that's not the problem. The problem is that I'm doing the wrong kind of cast. Wrong language, sorry folks. That's what we want to do, I think. Yes, it's all okay. Oops. Float's what we want to cast it to. Finally, there we go. So we're going to do the same thing for, we set the minimum, copy, paste. We're going to set the maximum and the value. So the max is going to be max, and then the value is going to be whatever the current value is. Nice. Okay, now as the guy slides the slider, we'll want to update the value. So an easy way to do that is actually to just do that. Let's go to the select filters view controller. Sorry, no, what am I doing? I want the storyboard. I'm going to control click on the slider, bring it over here. We want the action. Slider change. Slider changed. Hope that makes sense. Let's get rid of this and switch back to our source. That was this guy here. There, that's easier to see. Get rid of that breakpoint. Slider change. So slider change gets called. What do? We literally say filter value equals filter value equals the current slider value. So okay, and we can check our error here. It's no doubt due to casting, and it is. So this is returning a float, and we need to convert it to a double. That's easy enough and very safe, especially since we only need don't need to be extremely precise with this. Okay, let's give that a quick run. So we're expecting that the filter should now be, actually I'm going to make one little change just so it can be visible. We're going to go to our filter, and we're going to change the default value to 0.25 or 0.75. Okay, that sounds better. So now, if everything's hooked up correctly, when I bring up the edit button, the slider should be set at 75%. So I'll go scale intensity, edit, 75%. That looks good. So that would be 50, that would be 75, that would be 100. I'm going to go apply. So a slight darkening. Now let's go back to edit and let's go really dark. Apply. Not bad, not bad. Okay, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.